summary of this evening's agenda before we begin, particularly for the benefit of those who may be watching at home. So the board tonight is meeting in a business session of the Board of Supervisors, and they have a number of items on the agenda to include a presentation by Mr. Wanger on the 2022 general obligation bond issue. Next, the board will attend to some new business, including a number of items which are action on a resolution 22-09, which approves of the Meadows at Colonial Club planning module for submission to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. Next, the board will take action on bids for the concrete curb and replacement project with Mr. Weaver here in the sewer department. After that, the board will take action to award a bid for the Brightbill Park basketball court resurfacing project with the Parks and Rec Department. And after that, the board will take action on subdivision and land development opportunities, which actually are not on the agenda. But after that, the board will take action to approve of the payment of bills for the township and the township authority, after which they will hear closing announcements before adjourning. With all that said, members of the board are seated and prepared to conduct business. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Gottschall. We'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton, that was sort of weak, wasn't it? We'll call this meeting of the Lower Paxton Board of Supervisors to order. I would like to ask everyone to please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Supervisor Lindsay.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll now move to approval of minutes. This would be minutes for the November 3rd, 2021 business meeting and the November 9th, 2021 workshop meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we approve 11/3/21 business and 11/9/21 workshop minutes.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
The Board of Supervisors did meet in executive session prior to this meeting to discuss a variety of issues, legal and also related to real estate. We will be doing so again following this meeting. With that, it's time for public comment. Public comment is for items not on the agenda. Would anybody like to address the board on an item not on the agenda this evening? Okay, seeing no one, we will now move to chairman and board member comments. Board members, any comments this evening?
I just have a couple. Would like to congratulate Officer West and Officer Gage. They came in second in the K-9 Foundation. So with that, we get $5,000 towards K-9 equipment. So if you see Gage, tell him we said thank you. Yeah. Supervisor Zumas and myself are representatives, delegates to the Council of Government, which we met last Monday night. And we had a speaker on the AT&T FirstNet, which we've had before for first responders. And we also had a speaker on the tolling of the South Bridge, which was very interesting because if that does go through, that's going to affect the traffic here in Lower Paxton Township because of I-83 and 81, because they're going to be finding other routes to go instead of paying $3 each way to go back and forth over the bridge. Mr. Zumas, do you want to add anything?
No, the primary purpose of the discussion was to create a coalition of number of municipalities to go together and fight this PennDOT proposal. And
I did run into Commissioner Hartwick last Wednesday at a viewing, and he said they are discussing it and probably will go along with the coalition. Camp Hill, Wormleysburg, and Lemoyne have hired Lee Stennett to represent them, and he's kind of going to be part of the coalition. So, and then the other Thursday night, it was Manager Gottschall and Assistant Manager Miller and Chris, how do you say it, Fonseca, our new community development, and myself, we went up to the Dauphin County Conservative conservatory, excuse me, and they had a program up there for all the different municipalities in Dauphin County, and they explained all the money that's out there that you can apply for, all the grants that you can apply for. So it was very interesting.
I went somewhere else. Where did I go?
I'm not going to tell you where you went. I know where you went.
Maybe a funeral.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It was in this room.
Oh, yes. Also, too, speaking of county commissioners, the county commissioners awarded Lower Paxton Township a $150,000 grant, part of gaming funds that they had to distribute, and that grant will be used to make repairs to the basketball courts over at Brightbill Park, and also will help fund the development of our Parks Master Plan, which we are in the process of assembling the committee that is going to work on that. So our appreciation to our county commissioners, Mike Priest, Chad Saylor, and George Hartwick, for supporting our effort, and this will be a good cornerstone for our Parks Improvement Project, which is
Just the beginning.
just very much just the beginning. There's many improvements to parks that are about to start happening.
Rachel
talk
has a
more about
smile
that.
on her face.
You're going to be very, very, very busy for the next couple of years. Anybody else have comments? No? Okay. Managers report.
Mr. Chairman, I have to say I'm feeling a bit useless this evening. I have no particular report, and staff is here to handle the information for tonight. So if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help answer them. So
You didn't have to say that to feel useless.
Does that mean we pay you less this week? No, you're quite useful. And I know you've had a very exciting and interesting day, so congratulations on that. Now time for us to move to old business, and we do need to have a presentation on our general obligation bond issue summary. And Mr. Wenger, come to the podium and fill us in on where we stand on this.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I gave everybody a paper copy if you prefer the paper, but it's also on the screen for the benefit of those viewing the meeting. The bonds were sold last week by Benning and Scattergood, represented by Mike Bova and Raymond James. Ryan Brockman is here from Raymond James. So if you have any questions or would like comments from the underwriters, they are available this evening. The next page gives you just a highlight. If you recall, we had met with your management team through the late summer, early fall, and encouraged to move this financing as quickly as we could. So you can see we didn't quite hit the bottom, but we got very, very close. And so we're very pleased that we were able to get in the market, certainly before the rate hikes that everybody is now saying are certain are coming. Barring, I guess, an international crisis that might stop the Fed in their tracks. But for the moment, people are expecting rate hikes in March and May, and then probably thereafter as well. So again, the decision to move as swiftly as we could, I think, was the wise decision. The financing did three things. Financed approximately $13 million for your stormwater project. It also, we had a very, very small component in there for vehicle leases, and then we had the opportunity to refinance the 2010 PennVest loan. And so in the aggregate, it was about $18 million of bonds to be issued. The true interest cost, which is basically the interest rate plus the cost of issuance, is 2.82%. So for long-term money, still borrowing at under 3%. These bonds can be redeemed in 8 years, and so we're pleased that we were able to get an 8-year call date on a non-bank qualified issue. The next page then goes through your debt, and again, it was $18.55 million. And just so that Gary Chrisman doesn't roll over if he's watching this, it doesn't look like level debt, but this is just this bond issue. The next page then breaks down the components. This is the stormwater portion. Again, the current debt service for this component of about $13.1 million is a little under $750,000 per year. That, in conjunction with the prior stormwater debt issue of about $575,000, results in average annual debt service of about $1,325,000 for the stormwater system. And that runs through 2047 with a little drop off in the last 3 years. The next page is the general fund portion. This is the part that doesn't look so level, but most of that early debt is still related to the Friendship Center, I believe, and so that debt drops off considerably in 2027. And then the very, very minimal debt thereafter. The equipment leases run through 2027, but that also coincides with a drop in the existing debt. The next page is the sewer fund, and this is the refinancing of the Penvest loan. The shaded column, I guess that's yellow, is the debt service savings. So in the aggregate, about $334,000 of debt service savings, which is approximately $30,000 per year. It doesn't sound like a lot, but this loan is relatively short-term in duration, had a very low interest rate, so the fact that we could refinance it is actually remarkable. There was a day where we thought you'd never refinance a Penvest loan, and here we are. So we're very pleased that we were able to get in the market quickly enough to realize savings on the Penvest loan as well. That is a very brief overview of the financing. Again, Mike and Ryan are here if you'd like the underwriters to comment. Closing is scheduled for March 23rd. Tom could not be here this evening, but the documentation and the filing with DCD is on course, so we don't expect any disruptions or obstacles before the closing date. And the rates are locked in, so it doesn't matter what happens moving forward.
You may have locked in just in time
Well,
with everything going on this.
yeah, we'll see, but I think the decision to move as quickly as we could will prove to be the right one. And I don't know if Bill or Brad or Sam want to comment. It's your chance, Brad, you can.
I think I'll stay out of this one.
Well, I just want to make a comment, board members, thank Jay and his firm because they did advise the board and management, I believe correctly, and they jumped on this right away and saved us considerable amount of money on this financing. So I'd like to thank him for that.
Yeah.
Yep, totally agree.
No, you guys have been a great team for us. We appreciate it.
And your management team is very attentive. They did an outstanding job, start to finish. It's one thing to encourage you to move forward. It's another thing to have people respond.
Board members, do we have any questions?
Yep.
Comments?
Thanks.
Nice to see you again, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
Yeah.
Bova, good to see you again. No. Okay. With that, I guess we can move to new business. And Mr. Weaver, you are up first with action on a resolution approving the Meadows at Colonial Club planning module.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. You've seen these resolutions many times before. This is Resolution 2209, approving the Meadows at Colonial Club planning module for submission to the PADEP. So anytime there's a subdivision that is allocated for connection to the public sewer system, DEP requires these modules. I put in your packet the map of the area, which you've seen before as part of the approval. It's just 19 single-family lots. And the developer and the developer engineer have provided a complete package and is ready for board action this evening. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Board members, any questions? Pretty straightforward.
We've seen this before.
Okay, with hearing no questions, is there a motion on the issue?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve Resolution 2209, approving the Meadows at Colonial Club planning module for submission to Pennsylvania DEP.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
And we now need to take action on bids for the concrete curb and sidewalk replacement project. Again, Mr. Weaver.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. You have in your packet the bid package with the bid award recommendation letter from GHD. Included is the schedule of pricing, the bid completeness summary. I've also included, in typical fashion, the bid advertisement, the summary of work, and the description from the project manual, and including the bid opening minutes. We opened bids last Friday, the 25th. The purpose of this project is to replace all the curb and sidewalk that's damaged from our township I&I crew that is doing sewer and stormwater work. They're now focusing on sewer work, so there's a good bit of curb that needs to be replaced. The unfortunate thing is we only got one bidder, Rogel, but it is close to the engineer's estimate, and we have worked with Rogel a good bit in the past. So GHD and staff do recommend that the board approve the bid for Rogel in the amount of $612,050. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Board members, any questions?
None here.
Okay. Can we have a motion to take the action on the bid?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve action on bids for the concrete curb and sidewalk replacement project.
In the amount of $612,050.
$50
Yep,
to Regale.
To Rogel.
to Rogel as presented there by Mr. Weaver.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Weaver. And Mr. Gotchell, we are going to put you to work tonight. Brightbill Park, basketball court resurfacing. Yeah, we even have money to pay for it.
We do indeed. But actually, I'm going to kick it right over to Mrs. Scott. So that's
Good evening, board members.
Boy, Brad is really evading work tonight, I'll tell
Isn't
you.
he? The township held a public bid on February 24th for the Brightbill basketball courts resurfacing project that we had 4 bids that received. The lowest bid was from J&S Paving and Excavating Corporation in the amount of $159,680. HRG's cost estimate for this project was $191,983. This project is part of the board's ambitious parks revitalization project that we're going to be providing capital investment benefiting all parks over the next couple years. So this specific project will bring Brightbill Basketball League back to Brightbill Park, which will be exciting for 2022. And additionally, as you guys noted, that we did receive partial funding to defray the cost through the local share grant that we received. So staff is recommending, along with HRG, that we award the contract to J&S Paving and Excavating Corporation in the amount of $159,680.
When will they begin work on the project?
Relatively soon, but I know the project is to be completed by May 20th.
Oh, really?
So we will be able to kick off the season there
Wonderful.
And Rachel, they'll be totally dug up, right?
completely, renovated.
Okay.
Yeah. None of these projects are going to be Band-Aid approaches. They're going to be
No.
done properly.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Rachel, can you, did you mention the league? Can you give people just an appreciation of how many people use these courts, therefore our spring league?
Yes, it's
This-
the
this
summer
is-
league, the
The
Brightbill
summer league, this
Basketball
is
League.
huge. This is
Yeah.
really, this is not just basketball court that, people come and play some pickup games. This
No.
is really big, and it's been, the repairs have been real serious repairs because the lack of funds have been put off, and we've done minor repairs. So give us,
Sure. The Brightbill Basketball League has about 55 teams in it. It's all volunteer-based regarding the coaches that are involved, and then each team has about 10 to 12 kids. So we're looking around 600 kids that serves this league, and it runs Monday through Thursday evening from 6 p.m. till 10 o'clock at night for the duration of the 10 weeks over the summer. And it is a recreational league that helps youth learn how to play the game of basketball, but we have people from all over the area come play in this league.
and it's been in need for a while now, right, as far as
Yeah.
repairs?
Yeah, last year we had to cancel the league over at Brightbill Park and move it to Coons Park because the courts were not in good shape and it was a safety hazard for the kids. So we are able to bring it back to Brightbill Park.
Great, thank you.
Absolutely.
Jason, I just asked Mr. Gutschall, and he said that we've never used JNS, but you highly recommend them.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. I've never had a personal experience working with them either, but I did reach out after the bid opening, and I talked to their management, and I left the conversation feeling confident that they are capable of performing the work. They've been in business for about 20 years. They're located about an hour east of here, Bucks County. They have about a staff of 15 employees, and they did seem to think that they wouldn't have any issues meeting the aggressive schedule. So.
Okay.
Any other questions, board members?
I say we make this long overdue motion.
Well, then, proceed.
Mr. Chairman, I say that we finally approve the awarding of the bid for the Brightbill Park Basketball Court resurfacing project to J&S Paving and Excavating Corporation in the amount of $159,680.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Very good. Time to get to work. Okay, subdivision and land development, I see nothing on the agenda this evening, which would then move us to payment of bills for Lower Paxton Township and the Lower Paxton Township Authority. Mr. Treasurer?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve payment of the bills for Lower Paxton Township and Lower Paxton Township Authority.
So moved. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
Moved and seconded. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any further announcements? Okay, so our upcoming meetings, the Lower Paxton Township Authority Board will have a special meeting on Tuesday, March 8th, 1 week from tonight at 7 p.m. right here. And the next meeting of the Board of Supervisors, which will be a workshop meeting, will also be 1 week from tonight, Tuesday, March 8th, in this room immediately following the LPTA meeting. With that, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.